Good afternoon, I'm Tatum Hubbard. Last spring, we had the great pleasure of introducing you to a new character in children's literature. Willy Nilly spoke to so many of us with his mischievous ways and his quest for adventure. And the two men behind that book stole our hearts. In today's Daily Dose of Studio 7, we are talking with Jimmy Patterson, who is one of the authors, Jim Henry, who so many of us know well as a petroleum pioneer in Midland. These are his babies as well. So tell me what Willy Nilly is up to now.
Well, they have run across Stella Star, and Stella is a brightly shining star that's just off the Big Dipper. And Willy, or Thumper that is, wishes one night that a star would come visit him. And sure enough, Stella falls out of the sky, plunges down to Earth, creates a great big hole in the ground, and they excavate her and they have a few adventures, but then they realize that they have to get, or she realizes she has to get back by nightfall the next night in order to be there for her responsibilities, which is to help navigate the sky for captains and astronomers. Yes. And the sky wouldn't be the same without her.
Okay, so I can already hear so many of the things that have made this book so wildly successful and popular. Number one, doing the right thing is a strong thing. Number two, the responsibility that you have a role to play, and the adventure, of course. These are crucial to the books.
Exactly, Tatum, and that's what Jim had intended in the beginning when he began telling these stories more than 40 years ago. Doing the right thing, friendship, loyalty, and doing good for others.
This is so exciting. The first two books did so well. They are now produced in Spanish as well. What's been the reaction about?
We had a wonderful day in May when we launched the first two books, and we had 2,200 people at the Centennial Library in Midland. Sold over 1,000 books that day, and it was overwhelming. The line was literally snaked around the library and out the front door.
It's grown even beyond the Permian Basin too. You guys are going to be the guests at a book festival in the Houston area. A blogger out of Boston is now talking about the success of the book and how important the book is to children, right? That's
correct. Those values that you mentioned are universal. The books could have been written in the 60s and 70s as easily as today. So yeah, we're excited about the Bayou Book Festival. It's a product of Lamar University system.
Okay.
And we'll be speaking there, and we'll also be signing books, and also we're at a couple of schools.
So speaking of two of the other concepts that are so important is in the back of each of these books is like an educational component. So you talked about navigation and talking about what I'm assuming that's maybe what Stella Star teaches us. I love this part where you're learning about some of the concepts as well.
Well, that's the reward. That's sort of the payoff for the great fiction, is the learning that we offer in the nonfiction Willy Nilly and Thumper's Library at the end of the book. In each book we have 4 pages of nonfiction describing those elements, and certainly Stella Star has the astronomy that's involved.
This is a great Christmas idea. If you have kids in your life and you're not 100% sure what to get them, this is a great option.
Thank you.
Start the collection. And the really good news is buy one, give one. That was important to you and to Jim, and I know his family. And you guys have donated so many books already.
We have. In May, we donated almost 1,000 to third graders at Ector County schools, and also to children of adult learners at Midland Need to Read.
It's a really great concept. It's an even better book, and we love the two people who are involved in it. So thank you for sharing this with us.
Tatum, have a Merry Christmas. Thanks.
Thank you. Can't wait to meet Stella. That's it for us. CBS 7 News at 4:30 starts right now, so stay with us.
A new local missing person alert system is in the works. Parents, you'll want to hear how it operates. Plus, an early morning robbery at a convenience store. Police now searching for 3 men on the run. And Christmas is now just days away, but many will struggle to put food on their table. How you can help feed those in need this holiday season.
Live from the most watched station in West Texas, you're watching CBS 7 News, the breaking news and weather authority. CBS 7 News at 4:30 starts now.
Good afternoon, I'm Alexa Denson. A chilly start to the day today, but we've warmed up nicely this afternoon. You're looking over the skies of Fort Stockton. It's mostly sunny there across the area. But what can we expect as we move into the rest of our week? Let's send things over to Tom to see if it's going to start feeling a little more like Christmas.
Time now for a CBS 7 Weather Authority update.
Well, we are finally starting to warm up across the area. See just a few high clouds drift across parts of West Texas at the present time. So a pleasant day across most areas as we look at those temperatures. Again, seeing things warm up back above the 30s that we were dealing with over the weekend as we're back into the 50s to even the mid 60s now across the Midland Odessa area, 61 in Pecos, 64 in Fort Stockton. So again, starting to warm up. This should continue into tomorrow before we see another front in our forecast. Not a lot in the way of wind out of the south to southwest now at about 5 to 10 miles an hour. So as we look in the evening hours on this Tuesday evening, we'll call it, we're going to see those temperatures drop down into the mid to lower 40s. Again, a high cloud or two will hang around in the forecast across the area, but overall, though, things look rather quiet. For tonight, not quite as cold as it has been, as we'll be into the mid to lower 30s out there in a few locations across the Permian Basin. But with the high clouds, they'll continue to stream across the Trans-Pecos into the mountain areas, even milder conditions into the mid 40s. So a far cry from those single-digit wind chills we were dealing with this weekend. And coming up tomorrow, well, even warmer stuff is on the way as we're going to pick up more of a west wind in the forecast. It could be a little gusty at times, 5 to 15 miles an hour, but look at that, pushing temperatures up well above where they should be this time of year. Usually the average high is about 55 degrees. We're going to be looking at temperatures into the mid to upper 70s for many locations coming up tomorrow. It does look like, though, it comes to an abrupt end with another cold front in the forecast on Thursday and more seasonable weather on the way for Christmas Eve, and Christmas Day is coming up here later this week.
All new today at 4:30, the Odessa Police Department is looking to change the way missing person alerts are handled. OPD is currently in the process of developing a regional alert system. As CBS 7's Stephanie Bennett reports, this new system would come with less restrictive guidelines.
Currently, the Texas Department of Public Safety activates missing person alerts throughout the state. And this year alone, nearly 500 requests were sent in by law enforcement agencies, but DPS was only able to activate 154 alerts, partially due to strict guidelines on what actually qualifies a person as missing. That's why OPD has been put in charge of a new regional system. The Odessa Police Department says under a new system, each missing person will be reviewed and alerts will be sent out on a case-by-case basis. OPD will be able to decide on how the alert is sent out and when. In Odessa, Stephanie Bennett, CBS 7 News.
Thanks, Stephanie. We're learning more about an attempted robbery at an Odessa convenience store this morning. Odessa police tell CBS 7 3 masked men walked into the 7-Eleven on 8th and Golder around 4 a.m. and demanded cash. One of the men pointed a gun at the clerk. The clerk told them she did not have a key to the safe with all the money. The men then ran from the scene. All three are described to be between the ages of 18 and 20, wearing black masks. Police are still trying to track them down. Some good news for the Midland Police Department. After swearing in 11 officers yesterday, the force is now fully staffed. According to the City of Midland spokeswoman Sarah Bustillos, the Midland Police Department now has 191 officers. This is the first time MPD has been fully staffed in recent history. Bustillos says the department is excited to welcome the new officers to the force. An Odessa man is behind bars after police say he held a bag of cocaine in front of an off-duty officer. According to the Odessa Police Department, 2 officers were working off-duty at Oasis Bar and Grill just after midnight Sunday when they walked into the bathroom and saw 35-year-old Ian Vasquez Matamaro holding a bag filled with white powder. Officers took the bag, which tested positive for cocaine. Police also found cocaine inside Matamaro's wallet. He was charged and arrested at the scene. Despite the downturn in the economy, area school districts have not seen an impact when it comes to enrollment. In fact, student population at Andrews ISD is actually larger than this time a year ago. At the end of November, student numbers stood at just under 4,000. The Andrews County News reports the district anticipated a drop in student numbers. More students means more money for the district. At last check, the district had a $3 million deficit. The additional students will generate over $1 million for the district. This holiday season is a busy time for the West Texas Food Bank, and they're asking for your help. According to Developmental Director Tina Corbett, the need for food across West Texas is on the rise. Corbett says there are many kids in need who will be out for school for 2 weeks over Christmas and don't get food otherwise. She also wants the community to remember senior citizens during this time.
Those are groups that we are particularly wanting to make sure that are served during the holidays. So it's not too late to help. $1 given to the food bank will help us provide 4 meals, which is a pretty big impact.
If you would like to help, just contact the West Texas Food Bank. That number is there on your screen. Funding for a new Wink volunteer fire truck and equipment have been approved by Wink City Council. City leaders approved all the purchases that will total over $430,000. That will include a new truck, equipment, and a special imaging camera. The Winkler County News reports some of the expenses will be covered by insurance and grants. The department's fire truck was totaled in a crash a few months ago. Crews are currently using a Kermit Fire Department truck on loan until the new truck is delivered. In your state headlines, an inmate is on the run after escaping a county jail in Houston. Officials say the suspect was being booked at the Harris County Jail when he took off while still in his handcuffs. The suspect's name has not been released. Investigators say so far they have not been able to find the escaped inmate. The Dallas Morning News reports about $10 million has been raised in private donations for the families of 5 police officers killed by a sniper in Dallas. The funds will also benefit 9 officers hurt in the July 7th attack. Dallas Mayor Mike Rawlings says he's honored by the amount of people who stepped forward to assist the fallen and injured officers. And here's some heartwarming news for your Tuesday. Some of your favorite superheroes were in Longview to surprise kids for Christmas. Longview SWAT officers dressed as superheroes and rappelled down the building, surprising kids through their windows. The hospital says the annual tradition brings both joy and comfort as they go through treatments. Santa, Captain America, Spider-Man, Superman, and Batman all made appearances. The crime fighters took pictures with the kids after the event. One parent says her son now wants to be a police officer when he grows up because of all the good they do for the community. Still ahead, new sugar guidelines are raising questions why scientists say the new report might not be accurate. And here's a look at today's oil report. You're watching CBS 7 News at 4:30. There are 120,000 people waiting for a life-saving organ transplant nationwide. 11,000 of them live in Texas. Juliet Dreyer spoke to one Central Texas man who received the ultimate gift just in time for the holidays.
It was beating like 280 beats a minute. Very few people survived that.
Ron Sebesta's heart had been failing for years. But last year, his health plummeted.
One side of my heart wasn't working at all.
By November, he was in Seton Medical Center on the heart transplant list.
By the time you make it onto the heart transplant list, your quality of life is very poor.
Ron spent the holidays full of tangled tubes and tests, celebrating Christmas from his hospital bed.
He's always been the one that, held the family together. And then for him to be helpless, it was sad.
Ron eventually got an assist device, a pump to help his failing heart. It would make the transplant more complicated, but it allowed him to go home. For 8 more months,
every day we lived on edge.
They waited. Ron's 5-year-old granddaughter asked Santa for a Christmas miracle.
She said, I want to get Pappy a new heart.
But hope began to flatline. That changed in November.
Am I hearing things right?
Exactly 1 year after he was placed on the list, Ron got the call.
I had felt bad for so long that I needed something. And even all the way here, I just Stayed calm.
Now, 1 month post-surgery, Ron and Nancy are on the path forward, but they know Ron's new heart comes from another family's heartbreak. They hope to one day meet and thank the donor's family.
You don't know how much you take life for granted until something major happens.
Now they're urging others to register as organ donors, a chance to give the ultimate Christmas gift.
See, your dreams come true. Santa brought Pappy a new heart.
Juliette Dreyer, CBS Austin News.
According to the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services, 22 people die each day waiting for a transplant, and one donor can save up to 8 lives. Some scientists say a new study on sugar should be taken with a grain of salt. The study was published on Monday. It says the official guidelines for how much sugar you should be eating may be wrong. That's because the study says the guidelines are based on evidence that might not be accurate. But a professor at the University of California says that research is, well, fishy, because it was funded by a nonprofit with ties to Coca-Cola, Hershey's, and other food companies. The U.S. government recommends eating no more than 12 teaspoons of added sugar per day. Let's send things over to Tom now for a check of the weather.
Well, we're looking at a very nice day as things are starting to warm up. Our iCam monitor across West Texas just showing a few high clouds mixed in with some sun, but we're seeing some warmer temperatures out there right now in Andrews. And some of the high cloudiness, 64 is what we're looking at up in Andrews County with just a light west-southwesterly wind. That's going to continue here over the next couple of days and keep temperatures warm as we're seeing the warm-up start to take place across the state. Still cool, though, as we're seeing lots of 50s out there and plenty of high clouds moving in from west to east across the area, and that'll continue to be the case as we move in towards the next 24 hours. It's all ahead of the next storm system. It's going to bring another front to our forecast, it looks like, coming up on Thursday, so some winter chill back into our forecast. But Tuesday into Wednesday, we're going to see those temperatures drop down into the upper 30s overnight tonight as some of these high clouds will continue across the area, but it does look like a nice warm up on the way for tomorrow before we see some winter chill back in our forecast. So the start of winter on Wednesday won't exactly feel like winter. Lex will be right back right after this.
Welcome back. We're now joined with Tiffany and Holly with the Permian Basin Bridal Association. Thank you so much for being here today.
Thanks for having us.
So y'all have an event coming up, the Permian Basin Bridal and Quince Expo, correct?
Yes.
Okay, so tell us a little bit about it. When is it?
So the expo is going to be January 8th. It's at the Midland Horseshoe Pavilion. It's going to be from 1 to 5, and then we'll have a platinum preview area open up at noon. The show will have tons of vendors from the area, caterers, florists, planners, anything you can think of for your bride or your quince girl that needs to plan her event.
Definitely sounds like a good one-stop shop. I know when I was planning my wedding, you have to make so many phone calls and figure out who you want to go with, food-wise, and even dress. And there's just so many things you have to think. You wouldn't even imagine. So this is just a good place to find it all.
Yes, it really is. It's a good place to compare everything, like all at once. Saves you a lot of time, and it's really fun. It just kind of adds to the experience of planning your quince or planning your wedding too.
And how can people get tickets?
On our website, basinbridal.org, you can go on there, check out the dates. There's different levels of tickets that you can buy. The Platinum Preview, you're going to get in a little earlier. You're going to get a VIP bag. You're going to get front row seating to our both of our fashion shows. And it makes it a little bit more of a special experience for you. So we have those as well.
Yeah, so definitely this is right after the holidays. I know a lot of ladies might be opening up a diamond ring for Christmas this year. So this would just be a good way to kind of get excited to start wedding planning.
For sure.
Absolutely.
Awesome. Well, thank y'all so much for being here today.
Thank you.
Thank you.
January 8th, correct?
Yes.
Okay, you can find all the information on the Permian Bridal Association website. Stick with us. We're back after this. Tom, not feeling like Christmas out there right now.
Not exactly, but we needed a break from all that cold weather we had this weekend. Here's a look at the 7-day forecast. Get you ready all the way through the rest of the week into the Christmas holiday. We're going to see a nice warm up coming up tomorrow, 72 degrees with a west wind. A few more clouds, another cold front in our forecast coming up on Thursday into Friday. May see a light shower with it, but some, much cooler weather in our forecast Thursday into Friday. And then we'll see temperatures moderate a little bit, a little above where we should be this time of the year. Coming up Christmas Eve into Christmas Day, we'll keep a 10% chance of a shower out there, but not expecting any travel problems. So not looking too bad coming up for the Christmas holiday here this weekend.
Looks like I'm just going to have to keep on dreaming for a white Christmas.
No, I think the closest to white Christmas we'll get is Cloudcroft, Ruidoso. They may see a little snow this weekend.
All right, thanks, Tom. CBS 7 News at 5 is up next, but first, here's Krista Escamilla with today's Mom's Everyday Minute.
Hi, I'm Krista Escamilla. Welcome to Mom's Everyday Minute. Well, Santa certainly has a big job ahead of him, delivering presents to millions of children around the world. And thanks to a 60-plus year tradition, you can track Santa on his journey. On December 24th, 1955, Colonel Harry Shoup at the Continental Air Defense Command Operations Center answered a call from a little boy wanting to know where Santa Claus was.
And he received this call because a local department store had a typo in an ad in a magazine to call Santa at that number. But he proceeded to answer many phone calls from children asking where Santa was.
And just like that, a long-lasting tradition was born of tracking Santa on his Yuletide journey around the world. Now on Christmas Eve, children are invited to call NORAD at 1-877-HI-NORAD to find out where Santa is at that very moment and to see when jolly old Saint Nick may approach their chimney. Now this year, you can also track Santa through Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube. All interesting, all fun to do. The kids will love it. For more ways to make Mom's life a little easier, go to momseveryday.com. We hope you have a lovely holiday and Merry Christmas.